Anger spilling into the streets of Grand Rapids, Michigan, with protesters calling for action over the police shooting death of Patrick Lyoya. He's a black man shot in the head by a member of the Grand Rapids Police Department earlier this month. Lyoya's family is demanding answers and for the officer to face charges. John Northcott has more on the story for us this morning, and we want to tell our viewers it does contain disturbing details. So, John, it has now been almost 2 years since the murder of George Floyd, and this latest fatal police shooting is sparking outrage and it's raising questions.
All of that, Jennifer. We're seeing people take to the streets. These are, we understand, largely peaceful protests, hundreds of people. The family had said initially they didn't want people to protest, but what we're seeing in the signs and in the demands and in the chants from the crowd, the all too familiar calls for police to stop the shooting of unarmed black men, to the Black Lives Matter protests and sentiment very much alive here in the streets of Grand Rapids. This is a situation where a young man, 26 years old, came to the United States with his family, 2014. There he is there, Patrick Lyoya, coming with his family to escape the violence in their native Republic of Congo. At a news conference, his father spoke and addressed the situation that he found violence in the United States rather than what they tried to escape. Have a listen.
My heart is really deeply broken. I didn't know, I didn't believe that in this country that there is a genocide in this country. I didn't know. I didn't know that here in America there can be an execution style to kill someone.
Now, the family has seen the video of the shooting. In fact, it's a series of videos, and as we show it to you, we have to warn you that it is concerning. It is difficult to watch in terms of what unfolded. Police officer pulling Patrick Lyoya over, saying that the license plate did not match the car. He orders him to stay in the car, asks to see his license, asks if he can understand English. The response is yes, and you can see here, then there is a pursuit across various lawns in the neighborhood. At one point, there was a grab made for the taser weapon, and then eventually, with the officer on top of him, Lyoya was shot in the back of the head. Now, police saying that this officer is on administrative leave, but let's first talk to and listen to the family lawyer. The question put to him was, when there's a pursuit like this, why does somebody have to die? Have a listen.
You know, officers are trained to deal with people who are resisting arrest or resisting them being able to put them in handcuffs. But you're not allowed, if you're a police officer, to shoot somebody in the back of the head just because they are resisting your command.
So the family and the protesters in the streets calling for the officer's name to be released and for charges to be laid. Jennifer?
So, John, police released those videos. What else has their response been, especially, as you say, with that call to release the police officer's name?
Yeah, in fact, there were 9 videos. What we were seeing there was a series of 4 that were put together. But let's listen to the police chief as he describes their situation.
So the question is, am I planning on naming the officer? And usually over the past few days, that question has been framed. And if this was anybody but a police officer, you would have said the name. And I'm going to treat the officer like I would anybody else. We don't name suspects. If the officer is charged with a crime, we will name him at that time. But the short answer is no, I'm not going to be naming the officer.
So the video, interviews, and a lot of other evidence is currently before the state police. Jennifer?
Lots to watch there. Thank you, John.